3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so on today's little episode, get together, whatever you want to talk about it. I've got a couple good friends here. We're going to kind of be staying along the lines of exercising, getting in shape, lifting weights, that kind of stuff. So kind of introduced the crew. Got Mike Barton back again.
Hey now.
Thank you for coming back. Didn't run you off too fast the first time.
Like the sun, bud.
Gotcha. We got Nick Turner over here. He's
taking a sip of my beer.
That's fine. Yeah, you're good. And then we have Jonathan Gove over here.
Come on.
We just spent the last 30 minutes trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name.
It's 4 letters.
It is. Dude, wording is hard. Wording is hard.
English, the
This is
English
a highly
language
educated podcast right here.
What'd you say?
I said this is a highly educated podcast.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Absolutely. We're swinging for fences and hopefully we hit something eventually.
I'm just hoping to hit the ball.
I just want to play, coach.
So, all right, it's kind of starting some things off here. Just since we're kind of along the lines of working out, what's everybody's favorite lift? Or favorite and maybe least favorite out here? So, whoever wants it, run with it.
Nick, take it.
I think this is an easy one.
Go ahead.
Everybody wants that high bench press. I'm going to say that right now. And everybody does not want to squat. Mike and I talk all the time about not having a squat. I don't want to have to go over 315 anymore. I don't even want to go over 225 anymore.
I like how you just, I don't want to go over 315 anymore.
Yeah.
I want my bench press to be higher than my squat right now. I will tell you that right now. Don't want to.
No
The old
harm, no
knees
foul.
hurt from
He's got a point.
everything.
I would follow him up. I don't know. Papa's shoulders be hurting. So bench press is kind of going out the window. If I can get a pretty decent curl, and then, of course, anything below the waist, I don't care.
You're like a Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah,
He
like-
just wanted to have big curls.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
buddy.
What kind of curls? Because we always talked about banded workouts.
16-ounce curls,
A
man.
banded curl or a 16-ounce curl, 8-ounce curl, 12-ounce curl, 40-ounce curl. Like I'm a small guy, so
750
8 ounces
millimeter
is
curl.
plenty for me. But yeah, any curl or bicep movement, and then I hate anything below the waist in the gym.
Gotcha.
I don't know. See, I want to kind of go different. Chest is good. Everybody loves to have a good chest. I actually used to, Nick and Mike would tell you, I actually used to squat all the time. Like, that's all I ever liked to do.
You did it for a month, or you did it every day for a month.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Squat-tober.
That sounds awful.
He's not wrong. When I first got into working out, squat was my favorite too.
If you do it right and, like, you consistently, you don't ever hurt, really. But, squat is, like, one of those things. It's like, it's kind of like your bank account.
You stays low.
You spend too much one good time, you're screwed for a week.
Yeah. I agree.
Gotta get that emergency fund
I'm
back.
kind of with Mike though. Like I do like bench press, but that's really hard to keep too. But dude, if I get some nice triceps in the back, little horseshoes back there.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, man, because that's the one muscle. It's like everybody sees them like, good God,
It's 2/3 of your arm right there.
straight up. That's what I was told when I first started working out. Mike and I don't even remember how old we were. I remember we went to work that morning, and then we planned an 8-hour arm workout.
Yeah, we were like 11, I think.
11, yeah. But if you haven't known, Rich Piana, God
R.I.P.
rest his soul, yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He had an 8-hour arm workout, and I don't necessarily remember the sequence, but I remember it was like triceps, biceps, and you went back and forth, and you had like a 15-minute break in between. But the thing was, Mike and I think we consumed probably an entire protein container
Yep.
and like a couple bags of gummy bears, because that was the thing. You had to eat gummy bears and drink a protein shake after every lift.
Tell me about the bloating afterwards.
I just wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Have
Walking
you ever
out looking like the Michelin Man. Just
No,
not
dude,
being
after
able
like the
to,
first
like-
4 hours, you didn't even get a pump anymore. It was just like, all right, this is stupid.
Just
Can't even
hurt.
push the
Yeah,
door
like,
open
what are we
anymore.
doing?
Yeah, after that day, I'm pretty sure my arms shrunk. The thing was, you were going to get an inch on your biceps, and I'm pretty sure we were like, no, I think I'd atrophied.
Yeah, an inch less for sure.
Yeah, but
Shrinkage.
that first 2 hours,
Oh,
swollen.
So what you're saying is just cut back to a 2-hour workout on your arms instead of a 8-hour workout on your arms and be happy with it.
Yeah, I feel like that's normal. But really, if you just go in there for 45 minutes and you hit the bands,
Back to the bands.
The bands,
Dude,
the
the bands
bands.
are the way to go. You keep a red band in your car, you can work out anywhere.
Stay strapped, get clapped.
Just put it on your foot, hit the curl, go inside, hit the bar.
Well, I mean, isn't that what like professional like bodybuilders do? Like it's low weight in resistance, like when they're actually going to a show to get that last final
Get a pump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be able to do it, but it's all super lightweight, high rep, making sure you're contracting the muscle, shoving blood in there.
Just all depends on what you're doing. I suppose.
Valid
They
point.
do, yes, but they do keep them in like the backstage.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
saying.
yeah.
Like,
But even if you go and like you watch like a movie or something, like I was watching something the other day. I was watching like the first Captain America movie, and he was talking about going into that scene where like he turns into from the small like scrawny kid into the obviously Jack Chris Evans, and he was talking about just doing just curls just as many as he could before he got out there just to get pumped up.
yacked.
What do you think Hugh Jackman does then? Because he's just juiced everywhere.
Hey, I know exactly what he does.
Hey man, allegedly. Allegedly.
Right there in the leg.
He's Australian. He can do whatever he wants.
he might be wrestling crocodiles and shit. You know what I mean? You don't
I feel
really
like
know
it's
what's
different,
going
man.
on.
Hugh
That's what
Jackman,
I'm
if you're
saying.
listening, please don't sue me.
No, man.
Send us
He's,
an autograph.
Yeah, he's
Just an autograph, please. Or come on, whatever.
Yeah, come on to the
Actually, Hugh
podcast.
Jackman, you're welcome anytime.
And what's funny is these guys are just guests on here, and they're just pitching my show for me. I appreciate it, guys.
That's what we're about, man.
It is. Teamwork makes the
community.
dream work.
Community. Yep. When you get rich, we all get rich, kind of. And
You're right.
you bought me alcohol, so there's that.
Hey, you know, we got to have the party favors. Like I said, I feel like y'all are doing me a favor. So, two little drink or two to knock the edge off usually makes conversations roll a little bit tighter.
What happens after 6?
the conversation can get wild.
It gets looser.
It does.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can find out.
knew it.
but
And then in
College
10,
like that.
it just goes downhill.
after 10, just
Y'all
starts
shotgun
taking
on
on.
real quick.
All right, we're going to take a quick break now.
Just go one at a time.
All the way across.
Back to what you were saying. Back to what you were saying about like bodybuilders. I don't know if you know a lot about bodybuilders, but if you know who Ronnie Coleman is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Because that dude, like, he won like a powerlifting competition like a month before Mr. Olympia, and then won that.
Right. Well, he was a freak of nature. Like,
Straight up.
so I mean, so that's my opinion on there. He was very, very genetically gifted, and I'm glad that he was able to do that. It's sad to see him now, but I'm really, really glad he was able to do that and become what he was. So, another question here. There is some lingering expertise. We're not just a couple of meatheads in a basement drinking and talking on mics here. Well timed.
Talk to me.
Gotcha. So, Jonathan over here is actually supplement dude. Mm-hmm. What's the name that you got going on there with that?
It was Complete Nutrition. It was a corporate. I worked there, and then I was going to quit. And the owner of that location said, "Hey, you should just buy into this." And now I'm part owner of that, and now it's
awesome.
called Complete Health.
Complete Health.
Think of a GNC, just locally owned.
Nice.
So like
That's-
supplements, proteins, the whole 9 yards, anywhere from weight loss to vitamins to trying to get juicy in the back corner.
All right.
Come on.
Then two, we Mikey Mike was a trainer back in the day.
Yep. I was a personal trainer. I worked at a Globo gym, Gold's Gym, and I was a CrossFit Level 1 certified. And I worked at a couple CrossFit, three. I worked at 3 CrossFit gyms through my, I guess you call it, career.
And I can clearly tell he's not in CrossFit anymore because I've known you for years
Dang.
and have never known that you did CrossFit. That you were a CrossFit
Yeah, I
trainer
don't-
certified.
I don't
Sorry,
talk about it
like,
very much.
Like I said, I thought it was vegans and CrossFitters. They tell you it every chance they get. And like I said, known this guy years, spent a lot of time together. He has never mentioned that once. So
I would always try to pride myself in being one of those guys that didn't talk about it
Or drink the Kool-Aid.
or drink the Kool-Aid. But I will say I was definitely very involved, and if anybody wanted to smoke, they could get it.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's the
care.
truth.
That is 100%
That is
the
the
truth.
I wasn't going to go out of my way to make a problem, but if someone said something,
but if you were about it, we were about it.
all right,
If
that's what you want to play, we'll play.
Mike would make it his personal goal, I think, to kill me every day that I came to his gym. Gove took me there and was like, "Hey, I got a buddy. We're gonna go
It's actually
work
how you
out."
introduced. I introduced.
Oh, yeah,
you.
That
it
is
sounds
literally
like
how we got introduced. Is we were working out, and then Gove quit on us, and then it just ended up being us two. That seems to be a
Get
theme.
out of here.
That seems to be a theme.
I'm pretty sure. No, I had a powerlifting competition. I also lift. I just the CrossFit. I could never do a muscle up. So,
Dude,
You never put the time in to learn.
you never took the time in to learn to get a really big squat.
Because I don't want to.
And
Dude, I
didn't-
squatted like 360. I don't
Here
need
we
to
go.
squat anymore.
Listen.
That's plenty.
Plenty.
For a 160-pound dude, that's plenty.
Hey, I came there all the time to learn how to power clean, didn't I? Right or wrong? I was there quite a bit trying to learn how to do that.
A few
TC.
times, yeah.
I got okay, kinda, until I knocked my chin off.
That'll happen. But, side note, going back to how Nick and I was introduced, I don't know if Gove ever told you, but I had no desire to have you over at the house.
Damn.
He was like,
That's
"You remember
crazy."
Nick?" I was like, dude, no. New people, bad. Not good. And then here we got one time, and here we are.
Yeah, buddies.
I just feel like that's how men are, though.
If you can find a common interest,
Alcohol.
that helps.
Yep.
But if you can find a common interest in anything, you can look past everything else and just be like, all right, cool. Might not talk to this guy about how he plants his garden, but I can talk to him about lifting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of that sort of stuff. Because the first time I met Nick was on a golf course.
That's true.
And old boy showed up, and I was like, hey, I'm Rain. He's like, hey, I'm Nick. Nice to meet you. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, so you any good at golf? And he said, I'm here for the vibes. And I was like, oh, we are about to drink some beer and lose golf balls is exactly what is going to happen.
And that's still
And
100% accurate to
that's
this
what we
day.
did.
I take 3 golf clubs to the course, and that is the only thing I would play with. Haven't
all
been there in
that's
a year,
needed.
but that's all I'm taking if we go again. That and a cooler.
He is that good. Only needs 3 clubs and a cooler.
No, I'm not that good. I play from 100 yards.
He's so good, he skips hole number 1 and only plays 2 through 9.
Nick's like, I'll die on this hill.
here for
No,
fun.
but on a serious note, I am really glad that we met. That was really cool. Like, we hit it off, like, instantly. It was kind of crazy. And now look at you.
I know. We were talking about it the other day. We were saying, like, because Mike and I have a snap streak. We were like, daggone, it's really been that long. Like, we got, 1,000 some days now.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. I thought we'd only been, like, friends for, like, 2 years, and we're going on, like, 4 or something.
Yeah, I mean, we can change it.
He said, talk something about CrossFit, and I'll still cut you off.
No. Even when I was in CrossFit, I still talked junk about CrossFit and told everybody they're on the Kool-Aid and, like,
Until
people
you
think you
actually got into the workout, and then you realized Mike secretly was also on the Kool-Aid.
Hey, the socks. The wrist
my
sock-
gosh,
the wrist socks.
Dude
got
had
sweaty
Nike
hands.
dry fit socks and cut them and just put them on his wrist. No, I'm just kidding.
He would throw these like wristbands on that were like 4 inches long, and it looked like you just cut the tube of a sock off.
they really do. But I got sweaty hands, man, so it would help the sweat from running down my hands in the workout.
And it obviously worked because he smoked us every time, every single time. So
But Nick, you're also a football coach, powerlifting-ish kind of in there?
kind of getting, trying to get back into it. Want to get back into it. Played football, played all through high school, played into college, and then got out, got into coaching and love it. And I love making sure that like kids are learning about it. I coach at a middle school level. And I also coach high school too, but I coach mostly at the middle school level and just getting those kids involved and like teaching them stuff that like when I was in middle school, like I didn't know, like there's a lot of stuff that these two guys have taught me that even once I got out of college, like have used to this day. So just teaching the younger kids.
And two, I'm a believer that video games are not bad. And I know we're talking about lifting weights and we're talking about training and all this other stuff, but we're on the football subject here. Growing up, played Madden, so I had an IQ of the game. Like, I physically, I did some football, but it wasn't much of it. Ended up interfering with my job, couldn't do it, so walked away from it. But the IQ level of kids now who have played Madden since they were 8 and now they're 12, they understand the game at a higher level than I could have probably in high school.
I would actually agree with that. There's obviously still some things that you can't like do until
agreed,
you get but like coverages, blitzes, everything like that. Even just like which way that you like your blocking scheme goes for like offensive line. Like you can do that in Madden. You can do it at NCAA. It is super cool. Obviously, like a lot of kids. That's why. Gosh, just interrupting.
Didn't think it would hear. I tried to cover it up. Where's it picking up? Is it picking up right here?
It's all good. Apologize. I would expect nothing less. Anyway,
we knew the job was dangerous when we signed on here.
Yeah, but just I mean everything from that, like even just all those little intricate.
Words.
Whatever.
We were talking
details about it,
hard.
and like words are hard. I teach math at a middle school, so it is what it is.
You gotta explain yourself, man.
But yeah, all those little small details that you can learn from just a video game are super cool. So.
And it's wild. So, anyways, back to kind of the subject at hand. Yet again, this can go off the rails at any moment, but pre-workouts. Necessary, non-necessary, if necessary, brands, types, what you got?
I want to hear Jonathan's take on this
first.
I'm
gonna
because I got a very
dude.
dumbed down take, and I feel like yours is probably going to sound a little better.
I kind of want to hear yours. Let's hear the baseline level. Go ahead, Mike.
So when I first got into working out, I would work out at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and I would do it after working, 10 hours or whatever. And so I want to go home and go to bed, okay? But I would take as much pre-workout as it took to make my hands sweat and my heart to beat in my throat.
So you were just training until failure.
Oh, dude. And then once I realized, like, this is probably really bad for me. It took a while, like a month probably to get used to it. But after I stopped taking it, I'll probably never take it again. I don't think you need it. I think that's another thing. Like we were talking about the CrossFit Kool-Aid. I think a lot of supplements are Kool-Aid. I don't think you need that much stuff, dude. I think a little bit of protein, a little bit of creatine, and you're pretty much good to go. Maybe some fish oil or things for your joints if they ache, and then vitamins. I think vitamins are very underlooked. I think you can get a lot of good stuff from just getting vitamins because nobody eats good.
Agreed. Well, it's easier to eat bad.
Oh, dude, super easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the convenient aspect of it. You don't have to cook. I can run down to McDonald's, get a cheeseburger, check off my protein box, not worry about the carbs and the fat because we're not counting those. They don't count if you don't count.
Yeah, they're not.
So you just move on with life.
Yeah.
As he's taking his vitamins now.
Yeah, so like obviously I've been in the supplement game for a very long time, and I started as just like part-time and then worked into management, and then I worked into general management, and then eventually got into ownership. So you get a different concept of it. And when I first got into ownership, my first thought was, shoot, if I just sell more money.
Right.
And then I was like, well, that's kind of not the concept. It actually doesn't work like that, because if you do good, in whatever trade you're in, you do good work, people come back to that.
Absolutely.
So to answer your question, do you need pre-workout? The simple question is anybody comes into my store and they're like, I'm thinking about to get a pre-workout. My question, the only reason a pre-workout is made is for energy. There is two types. There's non-caffeinated, and so non-stimulant, and then there's stimulated ones. So if you're the guy who's like working out at 4, now see, Mike is a different breed. So if you're the guy who's working out at 4 or 5 a.m., right? But you're the guy who's just like, man, I get up, I'm in there, and I can push myself hard.
I drink a cup of coffee on the way there.
Well, see, that's
good.
Yeah, so that's technically pre-workout. It's caffeinated. But what I'm saying is, do you need to buy something? No. If you can't do it on your own. So like I said, Mike can wake up at 5 a.m. and go into the gym and pump just as hard as if he had pre-workout in him. That person does not need pre-workout. But now, then you have the other case. I don't know about Nick, but Nick, he drinks.
As Nick is pointing to himself,
he drinks quite a bit of Reigns, which are 300 milligrams a pop. He needs that in the morning, like first thing when he's wiping the sleepies out of his eyes. And I'm the same way. I don't like to work out in the morning personally, just because whether I have pre-workout or not, I'm just not there.
You're just
even
not
though
that
all
morning
this,
guy.
yeah, even though all the science says that your testosterone and yada 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 is higher in the morning, I'm not in it, and and caffeine's not going to get me there. So like, I can actually take like a non-stimulant. Shout out Complete Health Sweat Ethic Pump. It's a non-stimulant product. It's no caffeine, but
Explain that. Explain what the non-stimulant means.
So, like, again, onto the supplements, Mike's hit it nail on the head in a way, kind of.
So supplement or not?
Kind of. You definitely hit it. It's not all the way in there yet. The supplements, like,
He said, "I got it started for you. Don't you?
So, like,
don't you worry about it."
The problem with it is, and like I said, I've been in the supplement industry. I see it every day. Somebody's gonna come in there and then be like, "Hey, I need to lose a whole bunch of weight," right? And somebody looking out saying, "Hey, you just sold them $200 of weight loss products." They don't probably need that. They just need to eat healthy and train. You're 100% correct. They're not gonna do it though. That's where supplements come into play. People don't understand, if they just, like the supplements I just took, if you just take your basics, your vitamin D3, zinc, multivitamin, creatine, protein, like, as a general healthy person who's in the gym, it's really all you need. If you eat enough protein in your day to not need a protein powder, perfect. Don't get a protein powder. Creatine, I think that's a good supplement to take, because you really have to supplement it to get enough of it. And then if you're deficient in vitamin D3, there's not a lot of food other than like standing out in the sun that can get you in where we are in the peninsula, getting enough vitamin D3 if you're deficient in it. And then like zinc, you could eat a whole bunch of oysters and stuff. I like zinc a lot.
Zinc or oysters.
But if you eat too much seafood, can't you get a lot of mercury and it's really bad for you?
It depends on what type of fish it is. It's like swordfish. It's got a lot of mercury in it and like that. But again, it's all in that. People who eat salmon 3 times a week don't need to take fish oils, because they technically have the fatty acids. But there's a whole lot. There's like different concepts between DHAs and EPAs and stuff, like the levels and like what kind of fish oil it was, like joint support, like what Mike said, joint support. If somebody comes in and says, "Hey, do I need a fish oil? Do you eat fish at least once or twice a week?" Yeah. Do your joints hurt? Are you heart healthy? No, you probably don't. Like, that's just how it is. The problem is everybody who comes into my store, or most, come into my store and they want the fix now. And people say that all the time. They're like, "Well, is this $200 8-week supplement going to get them right?" I guarantee you it's going to help them way better than what they were going to do, and because they wouldn't be in here if they didn't want help.
And two, also, is there like a I'm trying to word here.
That's hard.
Yes, very. Is there like a skin in the game aspect when you spend that much money? Because like I bowl, and I bowl quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I have spent a lot of money in my equipment to be able to bowl. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I need to bowl 2 or 3 times a week to justify the money I have in the equipment.
There's a lot of people who do that. Like, I deal with doctors, and I deal with all kinds of people. I deal with this one guy. I'm not going to say his name, but
redacted.
Yeah, he's in Roanoke. He's actually originally from Haiti, or like one of those islands. He literally comes in, spends money. He's like, half the time he doesn't even take the stuff. He'll spend the money, and he'll be like, "Dude, it just kind of gets me thinking that I need to do something," which I think is stupid. But I'm like, and I tell him that when he comes in, I'm like, "Dude, you have everything. Stop spending money." You know. But yeah, there is a skin in the game. And okay, I'll use one example. Nick and I have been friends
long time.
I think Mike and I have been friends the longest, but I have a very diverse group of friends, and I try to bring those friends together.
Yeah. And
but we've been friends for a really long time, and Nick's come to me about supplements and stuff like that, and we're all in it. We're in it. We're out of it. We don't take time. We don't do this, but at one time Nick was on some supplements that, and he had crazy good results because he took it really serious for 8 to 12 weeks, right? Now, will you lose that if you don't keep up with it? Yes, it's that. I mean, so when it comes to the supplement game, man, if you don't keep with it, you will lose it. Now, I have I have what I call lifestyle supplements, and then I have which I don't count as supplements. I just count them as a supplement. Technically stands for you are supplementing something that's missing in your diet.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like what Mike said, vitamins or protein, or if for some reason you sweat a lot, you can get electrolytes and stuff like that. So those are like the type of supplements that I say, hey, you could probably take these all the time and you'd be fine. Multivitamins, that kind of stuff. And then there's your, as we may say, your seasonings. What you take throughout the time of, hey, I'm trying to do something. So I have people who come in who buy these crazy supplements all the time because it makes them feel good. Do they need to do that? No. Really, you really need to only take these for a short period of time to do whatever you're going to do. Whether it's, I want to gain muscle, so I want to take a natural testosterone booster, or I want to take, somebody's going to take a steroid, or somebody's going to take, SARMs or pro hormones or something like that. I'm just using those because those are dramatic supplements.
Well, and usually too, that's kind of a buzzword.
Yeah.
But somebody might have heard of that before and can relate to it.
Yeah. So like when somebody comes in and is like, hey, I want to take this product, right? Okay. Are you actively trying to do something? If you are, then it will help you. But again, you can follow back to what Mike said. You don't really technically need anything, but some things help for sure. But it's just like anything. If you don't put the time in, it will not work to its best ability. It's not going to do it.
I mean, the hammer doesn't drive the nail itself.
Unless you're Mike.
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
Hey, boost me up, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to put you on a pedestal here, man. Mike's a man of all statures.
I mean, following up with what you're saying, I think that a lot of what people got going on is social media stuff. Mm-hmm. And they see Ronnie Coleman, they see Rich Piana. I don't know a whole lot of like female bodybuilders, but they see these females that look good. And it's like, follow my 30-day booty workout. Like, are you going to get a nice peach in 30 days? Probably not. Like, I feel like a lot of it could be a money racket. And I think what it really boils down to is, like you're saying, like, you got to be consistent with whatever you're doing. If you want to get good at your job, well, you go there for 40 hours a week, so you're getting pretty good.
Right.
Imagine if you took your health and exercise that serious and you did that 40 hours a week. You'd be really good at it.
I have made the joke about this. Whenever you see somebody who is a professional at something.
Yeah.
Whether it is a baseball player, whether it is a chess player, anything professional, somebody who has made that is their job.
Yeah.
And you always find somebody in the crowd that says, man, I wish I was that good at it. And I was like, well, if I got paid to do it, I probably would be.
Yeah.
Like, if that was my job, I would be a lot better than what I am right now.
Oh, yeah. Like, exercise can be a hobby for a lot of people. It can be a stress relief. But in reality, exercise needs to be like changing your underwear or brushing your teeth. It's something that you should do
mandatory
for a little bit every single day, no matter what. No matter what. So I'm not saying you need to go out there and work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But if you can work out for 30 hours, not 30 hours.
If you can work out for 30 hours.
If you work out for 30 hours, you look like this in 31 days.
You probably will.
No. But like, if you can give yourself a truly dedicated, good 30 minutes every day, you're going to be fine. Like, most people have a sedentary lifestyle. They sit around a lot. They lay around a lot. Their jaw isn't very active. Like, you need to burn X amount of calories a day, depending on X amount of calories that you're eating. And you're going to lose weight. If you want to gain weight, you got to do it the opposite. Like, just eat your food, take your vitamins, and you don't have to go out there and do an 8-hour Rich Piana arm workout. Like, dude, you can literally, I tell this to people all the time, and nobody listens. They don't believe me. Don't eat French fries. Don't drink soda. And speed walk for 30 minutes a day, and you'll be amazed at how fast you lose weight and just how good a shape you actually get in. Speed walking, dude. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Getting your steps in is probably one of the number one ways to lose weight. I think I've told Nick that 17,000 times.
Yeah. And I've listened to it. I've 100%. I will go home, especially because I walk around the school quite a bit. So, I think you always say like 10,000 steps bare minimum. Try to get in.
Well,
at least.
You gotta find what you do. If you naturally do 7, bump that a little bit. But people sometimes will be like, I walk 2,000 steps, and then they're like, should I do 10? I was like, you'll never do it. you might do it once or twice, but then you're going to get so discouraged that you can't do it.
Yeah,
you got to have gradual goals. You can't just
set yourself something realistic. Don't say, hey, my first week at the gym, I want to lose 30 pounds. It's not going to work. No, I don't think if you didn't eat and worked out the whole entire time, you wouldn't lose 30 pounds in a week. It sets you that goal of, even if it is, hey, in a month I want to add 5 pounds to this. Like, as far as the weight that you're moving, whether I want to add 5 pounds to a bench press, or if I want to, maybe I want to lose 5 pounds in a month. Like, that is very obtainable goals, but make sure you can put something out there to keep that carrot close enough to you.
Yeah.
Because if you're not chasing that carrot, then there's nothing. I mean, the fitness is something that you will do forever. In theory, that you should never be satisfied with it. You should always want to be a little bit better at it. Whether it is eating healthier, if you walk 10,000 steps, maybe make it 11. Just something to go out there and push you. The one thing that I know about working out and lifting and stuff is the mental aspect of it. I'm usually at the gym, I would say 3 to 6 days a week, depending on what happens. And I usually get there somewhere between 4:30 and 4:40 in the morning. And when I go home, it is one of the biggest, I have done something harder than 90% of the people that wake up today.
Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
It's like, swing on me. Whatever you're complaining about has no equal value to what I put myself through. Like somebody said, if you wake up and go for a run, your day will automatically get better because you always started with a run that sucks.
Yep. Yep. You've already did all the hard part. You already got your sweat in. You've already been like, dude, this day is terrible. Like, it's already out of the way. So everything else is just downhill.
It can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Already past 10 minutes. The shitty part's already out of the day. You've already done it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, shit sucks.
Yeah.
But when I was personal training, every client that would come to me, and this might be a reason I didn't get a whole lot of clients. My first question,
I would kill them and make them do muscle up.
No, I
It's
really
a fact.
wouldn't.
No, it's a fact.
I really wouldn't. And they would come to me and I'd be like, well, let's sit down for 30 minutes. Explain to me your diet and what you're eating and stuff. And they would tell me. I'd be like, well, what else are you eating? And they're like, that's it. I'm like, well, you can't have a banana for breakfast. You can't go to the gas station, get 2 slices of pizza for lunch, and then come home and eat some chicken nuggets. That's not going to cut the mustard.
If you're talking down on my roller dogs,
I'm definitely not.
I'm going to be upset.
That's
First
like
of all,
90% protein.
If your gut can handle roller dogs, you're a man. Dude, I got to stay at the gas station if I'm eating them.
First of all,
First off, we called those in college. We called them gut grenades.
That's what they are, dude.
except one that gas station right there in Troutville near the Carillion back.
Tell me you have a blue collar.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me
That
you
one,
have
those roller dogs,
They got all kinds of good stuff in there,
dude.
dude.
The pizza, talk to
The
them.
biscuits and gravy.
Talk to
Tell
them.
me you talk about
Boy.
a blue collar podcast when we're over here rating gas station foods.
Talk to them.
Look, I'm just saying that gas station out there in Gretna has the best white monsters I've ever tasted. I think it's a little colder than the rest of them.
I don't care. I don't care what anybody
Nice
says. The
crack in
gas
the
station
can.
in Trouttville. Shout out. I don't know what you're called.
Shout out, no for
Country
shout
Corner,
out.
man.
Is it Country Corner?
Dude, I know.
Dude, I worked out there for 2 weeks straight. Every day, stop bys, see my same amigos picking up their Modelos. At the end of the day, I was ready.
There is a strong relationship that you have when you Nick's over here holding his mouth shut.
He can't handle it.
So there is a strong relationship between your local convenience store personnel
Oh, yeah.
and you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's been multiple times I've asked them, "Hey, where's your brother-in-law at? I haven't seen him lately."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, well, he moved out to Clearbrook." And they're like, "Oh, all right, yeah, wish you'd have told us." I've had gas stations switch hands, and they made sure to tell me, when they were getting the new people in there that were going to take it over. They were like, "Hey, this is Rain.
Yeah.
He comes in here 2 or 3 times a week.
Treat
cool.
him good.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
You can hang out, you can goof off with him.
He's got the MVP card. He scans it. We all know him, okay?
Exactly.
We bill him at the end of the month. He's not going to pay.
I'm pretty sure they got a scanner at the door that realizes how much money you got in your pocket too.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Can I get 5 on the scratcher?
5 on the diesel.
Yeah.
5 on the diesel.
$20 scratcher. Case of them Mountain Dews. Pack of Marlboro Lights. Oh, 5 on diesel.
5 on the diesel. So
$55 later, you got $10 worth of stuff.
So here's something else I wanted to throw out there at you. What made you start? Like, were you just in a very active family that you were just like, hey, look, maybe my mom and dad went to the gym. That's what made me want to go. For me, I got in a really, really bad headspace and needed something. So I literally was like, I said, I need to do something before I implode here.
Yeah.
So, I've been to the gym before back in the day, doing different jobs, really enjoyed it, really liked it, got away from it. Thanks. Shout out COVID. Got away from it, got fat, got sassy, started drinking way too much, and got into a dark place and was like, hey, I need to start going to the gym.
Yeah.
And actually, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I went from a gym that cost me $15 a month to a gym that cost me almost $50 a month. But that $50 a month said, all right, so if the $15 is like, hey, that's nothing. Like you'll throw that away every
you'll
day
just straight
and
up
not
skip.
Right, yeah, just like whatever. It's $15. When you put a little price tag at the end of it, you're like,
yeah, better use this.
I need to go.
Get my money.
I need to go I need to go 5 days a month just to make sure that I'm paying for a day pass.
I need to make sure my employees are working good.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So for me, that's what got me back into it. Got into a little bit of a dark headspace, needed to do something better, and that's what made me start lifting. So what y'all got? What made y'all start?
Mine was obviously football. Started working out probably when I was like in 9th grade. Had no idea what I was doing, but just kept working, kept getting stronger, and it got me into college. Like I ended up it was only D3, but you end up getting like some sort of like money for that. It's not a full like D1 scholarship like you hear about nowadays, where you're getting millions of dollars. But I mean, it paid for a couple semesters. For sure. So
yeah, and I mean, why? If you have the ability to do that, why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, and it's not even really called like a sports like scholarship. Technically, it's just like a scholarship like the school gives you, but it was something at bare minimum to like help out. So just working out, staying consistent, trying not to get my ass kicked every day on a practice field. Because I'm not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I'm 5'10" on a good day. So I mean, you see guys going out there that are
said he's 5'10" through 6'1", depending on what gas station you're leaving.
Yeah, for
Depending
sure.
on the shoes.
Yeah,
Depending on what college stat you're reading.
yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure on my like senior year, I don't know why Hampton City listed me at like 6 foot or something. Appreciate them for that.
Shout out, dog.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, just literally making sure like I went out on that practice field and like once again I played D-line. D-line is a position where you got to be either really, really strong or really, really heavy. Probably better to be really, really strong. So the motivation to not go out there and get put on my butt every day is a big one for sure. So just kept up with that, and then once I got out of football, I kind of like you was in a bad headspace for sure. I was so used to having that like structure of going back to the pre-workout thing. Oh my gosh, I love pre-workout. That's on me. Love it because excuse me, I had to go every morning at 5:30. Every morning, it wasn't a choice. I was told, you're going at 5:30. You're working out. You're hitting 400 pounds on squat this morning. Good luck.
But it
Help for sure.
But it's also one of those that, like you were talking about, structure.
Yeah, no,
It's that discipline aspect of it to where you didn't have a choice.
didn't have a choice.
And it's kind of good to have that in just a non-athletic career. I guess
sure.
it's like,
No.
college, like athletic career, I'd say. To have that is like the dedication over motivation.
Yeah,
Is as long as you're dedicated to it and you have the discipline to get out there and do it, you will surpass anybody else that has the motivation to do it.
right. And I mean that's going back to like everything that we've kind of already talked about. Is that's 90% of everybody's problem is like, and I'll admit it's part of my problem right now.
Agreed.
Trying to go back and just make the time to do it. But yeah, just football was what made me get into lifting and stay in lifting. And then once I got out, like I said, bad headspace, ended up hanging out with these guys a lot more and kind of got me back into it. And,
hang out with a bunch of meatheads and you turn into a meathead.
Yeah. So just getting back into it, staying consistent.
All right. Which one of y'all the two wants to run with this one? What got you into lifting? What keeps you there?
Oh, well, I'm definitely not as like gung ho for it as I used to be, but I'll find it again, just because that it's how it is. But I guess what got me into it, I'm not, I'm close, but I'm definitely not 5'10" either. So
can you elaborate on that just so the people that listen know what's
for the
going
people
on?
in the back that can't quite comprehend
I'm
this.
average height.
YouTube on the video recorder. Tell us, how tall are you?
I'm average height.
What is the average right now?
5'8". Ask me how I know. 'Cause I don't know. I'm 5'7.5", but if I wear boots, and if you ask me why I say the half, is because I deserve it. Because if I told everybody, I said, hey, I'm 5'6", you guys would be like, oh yeah. If I say I'm 5'8", you guys would be like, no, you're not. Like instantly would call me out. Well, so
what are friends for though, besides to beat you down but drag you out? Like we are the guys who will shove your face down in the mud and then grab you by your bootstraps and drag you through the rest of it. It's like we're not leaving him, but he's going to know he was here there. He's going to know for a while.
Yeah,
Nick puts me through it every day.
Every day.
But
love you, mean it.
when I was in high school, obviously I knew both of them. I was fast, but I was also only like 120 pounds. So around my senior year, or right after my senior year, really, of high school, I just started working out. And I remember, I don't know how, we might have been in like junior year or something, and Mike had gotten to a CrossFit into a little bit, right? Was it probably your junior year? And then you took like a break.
Yeah, so I could play lacrosse, so I didn't do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
No, he played lacrosse.
yeah, we played together.
All three of us did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know you played.
I played my senior year.
Camo.
Defense.
What position was that? Defense. Oh, depot
What
or
you
long
know?
stick.
Past 10 minutes, right?
Bring
the shit out of people.
Hell yeah, come on.
Every game coach is like, Nick, why's your pole bent?
Brother, I didn't even go for the ball.
Don't have to.
That's a defensive lineman
Seriously,
mentality.
You don't have to.
My job was to hit the dude in front of me.
Our coach, like, I only went in when we were in like man up situations, right? So
Our
that
coach
means-
was a bully.
yeah,
That's facts.
and he loved it. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. But I would only go in, like, I didn't know anything about it, so I did not expect to start whatever. So I would go in, sit in there, man up situation, sit in the crease, and just wait for the skinny guy to come across the middle and just
Take his soul
send
with
him
him.
to heaven. You know?
He's like a female lioness,
Just
just waiting for the weak prey to come.
I'm gonna say right now, I know this is a long time ago, but if I would have saw you, because I played midi, if I'd have saw you on the D line, your ankles would have been gone, son.
No. That wasn't my game. I know. Listen, sometimes you got to know your strengths. I'm not going out after you. Some of them other little skinny little shits are going out after
You're gonna
you.
get pushed into me.
But as soon as you get close to me, that's where I'm good.
Like
I'm
an
waiting for you.
alligator.
Yeah, literally. I'm waiting for you to come to me. I ain't going to you. No shot.
So yeah, we all played lacrosse.
Anyway, back to Jonathan. Sorry, tangent.
Sorry about that.
This is another conversation that we need to have at a later date because I don't know anything about lacrosse. I know.
I thought you were about to say I don't know anything about you guys. I don't know anything about
What's
you.
your
To be
name
honest with you, I don't know if I'm really. That might be just a them two conversation. I was just there for
Mike
fun.
and I played for two years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
I mean, from me, I'm over here like, all right, yeah, defense. I can, A to B, I can figure that
Yeah.
out. Like, I know enough about hockey and stuff. I know lacrosse
Same.
is rowdy.
Oh, rowdy.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. So I'm just over here, kind of like twiddling my thumbs, like little kid on the sideline, like, oh my God, just wait for my turn to talk. Yeah. So, but go ahead. What got you back into
Well, like
lifting
I
weight
said,
and getting healthy?
Mike and I lived close to each other, and Mike and I were pretty much spent every day with each other from the time we were, I guess, the summer of freshman year
That was like 10th grade.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Summer after
okay,
freshman
yeah.
year is when I got the call, and I'm not even going to talk about that.
Yeah, and I don't even
Yeah.
bring it up.
Anyways, and we pretty much spent like every day with each other. Besides that, so Mike met a beautiful young lady, his wife, and her parents were all into CrossFit. And I think I came to a couple of those competitions, but again, I just wasn't in it. And then we kept them going, and after that, I won't tell you the real story to why I like started, but something happened to me, and I was like, man, I'm just way too small. And because you can be short, and you can be weak, but you can never be both.
Right. That's not a good combo.
I wanted to make sure that if somebody wanted to bump into me, they would know I was there. And so I just started working out with a Diego. You don't remember him?
Oh, dude, that dude was a unit.
That dude was
when
a
he
unit.
Like 12.
Then he like did a Jedi flip, shrooms, and all kinds of stuff.
Salcedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Diego.
He was an awesome guy. And dude was
that dude-
shredded.
He
Eight
was
pack at
healed.
14.
You could see this dude. He was in my grade. He was awesome. He's a great guy, fantastic. But he could do like the flagpole, like literally, like if we have a pole sitting right here in front of us, he could sit right here and push his feet all the way out and just hold it.
Yeah, he was
for minutes.
He was in big shape, and he
stud.
me and him started working out together, and I'll never forget. It was like we hit arms, and I legitimately couldn't drive home the next I was driving, and I was like, I can't. My arms hurt. And then I just started working out, and I remember I came up to Mike. I was like, man, you should start working out with me. He'd be like, nah, it's stupid. I ain't doing that.
I still say the same thing.
Yeah, he does still say the same thing. And then Mike finally came with me, and dude, it was literally every day after work.
Yep, every day.
We were in there, pumping. We knew Mazza. Who else we know in there? What's that dude that always wore the boots?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. And then
Jawan?
there's that
Kawan?
dude that always worked out with Mazda, had the beard.
What was he at the 24-hour gym? Mm-hmm. It was Quan.
Quan. Yeah.
Quan.
Quan.
Dude was a unit.
Absolute unit. And he always wore Carolina boots when he was working out.
And jeans.
Yep, and
It
jeans.
was some sort of work pants. He never had athletic nothing on.
No.
But if you asked him to pick up a heel and throw it, he probably could.
Yep.
But yeah, we Mike and I worked out every single day after work. We were in there. It didn't matter. Like, we were in there pumping freaking iron, dude. And then just kept on going from there. Eventually, I got up to like 160 pounds, and I was like, I couldn't gain any more weight. And so then I decided to start powerlifting, and then I jumped up to like 180, 190, and that was probably like peak G money. But then I, life happens.
It does. Every
And
day.
I enjoy a little bit of Girl Scout cookies every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hey, shout out to the ones that were at Walmart that took. So I sent Tiffany, my girlfriend, out because she didn't have her ID. And I was like, if I have to go back in here, she is over 21, so nothing crazy. But I sent her out to the car because she didn't have her ID on her. And I was like, if I have to come back in here and do this all over again, or have to go to Sheets, or have to go anywhere else, I'm not going to have a good day. So I was like, go outside. We
you
already
obviously didn't take your run this morning.
I was like, all right, so this is what I'm going to do. We knew the people selling the Girl Scout cookies. And I was like, we got to buy something now. Like, if not, we're going to get shunned the next time we see them.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, we're committed. We're buying Girl Scout cookies. I said, go outside, talk to them. I'm going to pay for this. When I go outside, we'll get the Girl Scout cookies. She's like, all right, cool. I go outside after paying for the products that I bought, and Tiffany was nowhere to be seen. I asked, strike one on my behalf. I asked the people selling the Girl Scout cookies from salesman to salesman. I knew I failed. They said, we haven't seen Tiffany. I was like, I feel like y'all are lying. But, okay, whatever. She might have just hustled up and ran by them. And I was like, all right, cool. So let me get these 2 boxes right here. So end up paying for it. And they're like, all right, see you later. Then another lady flanks me and she goes, hey, I think those are the same ones Tiffany bought. I was like, I just got told Tiffany didn't buy any cookies.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, it's a little late now, but I'm pretty sure she got some.
Girl Scouts out here
They said,
Hustling.
hey, watch this.
making that money.
I was there for a minute. I kind of cut my eyes over too. I was like,
Y'all know
Y'all
exactly.
getting me right here, ain't you? But, you know,
Knew exactly what they were doing.
yeah, it's one of those. You got to support the causes when the causes need supporting.
Straight up.
Yep.
Straight up.
I don't. What are you doing there?
That I can Venmo to buy the cookies.
Oh yeah, not
Dude, they
even
can do
have
everything
the
now.
card. Had the Venmo for it.
Got the little tip thing on there too, 10%.
First of all, not tipping anybody that's selling outside of Walmart.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
All right.
Man, people are out here trying to make a living just like us.
I mean,
Can we talk about the tip thing for a minute?
absolutely go ahead.
no, it's the spin around
Dude,
tip.
yeah, that
The
freaking,
tangent.
they turn that iPad around and it's like 10, 15, 45%. It's like, bro, dude, I called in a to-go order. Like, what are you talking about?
The one that Japan in the mall, they got it even best. They don't even have anything sub 22%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you
Genius.
talking about? Like, what
I'll
happened
tell
to the old
you
days where you
what's
could drop
genius
$1 in
in
a
a
tip jar?
So me and Mike went out to lunch one day, and I said, "Well, it was for work. It was for work. It was a work related one." So I was like, "All right, cool, Mike. Like, let's talk about some stuff." So we go out. Waitress, awesome job.
Yep.
Did phenomenal. Did everything we could ever ask. Checked in on us, and she handed me the bill, and I was like, "Hey, don't worry, I have cash."
Yep.
And she was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." I signed the bill, walked straight outside. Me and Mike talk in the truck. I show him a couple things, work related, nothing crazy, and drive off. Halfway home, I go, "Ooh, oh, I didn't leave any cash on the table."
Dude, you never told me that.
Yes, so I double
Turn back
backed.
around.
Dude, no, I double backed because I was like, if the server deserves it, you should tip them.
Oh, 100%.
Like if that's
She
my
had already
opinion.
cussed you out at that point.
I know. So I double backed. She left. Oh. Her shift was over, and I was like, "Son of a gun! I don't know the name. I don't get receipts for anything." So I'm like, "Don't worry about the receipt. Throw it away. I'll just throw it away later." And it took me 2 months. I went in there, and I was coming out of the bathroom, and she was walking out of the cutover, and I was like, "Hey, you." She was like, "Yes, sir." And I was like, "Came in here for lunch, told you I had cash, totally walked out. By the time I came back, I said, 'You already left for the day?'" She's like, I don't remember any of this." And I was like, "I do," and handed her money, and she about cried.
Oh, my gosh.
She was like, you didn't have to do that." I said, "I know, but this money has been sitting in my pocket like I'm just ready to pounce at any moment for
Got your
it."
name on it.
Yeah, it was the truth. That was one of those. But
Well, that's cool for you, man. That's
dude,
true
it
testament of
man.
character.
not
right there,
just
like, you know
that,
what I'm saying?
it irritated me. Like
no,
I
I get
was,
that.
I was
Made you
upset.
feel some type of way.
Dude, I was
Yeah.
like, I hated those guys whenever I worked for, server, some sort of money thing that were like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Here's your 35 cents for a tip." And I'm like, you can
Yeah.
take that. And anyways, so yeah, I think we're going to catch a quick break right here. So we're going to pause this, Jewel, and then we'll jump back into it here in a second. Sound good, fellas?
Yep.
10-4
Awesome. Alrighty, so jumping back in here, I had a couple more questions. What do y'all think about cardio before or after, or does it matter? Do you need cardio? I'm a believer that you do. I think it's at least a good thing to go out there and get a couple extra steps. So, one of y'all fire away. Cardio before or after?
Oh, we know Mike likes the cardio.
That's what your mom said.
You want me to call Mary Jo right now?
No, leave Mary Jo out of this.
You want me to call her right now?
That's the happy dads talking, man. I would say it would definitely depend on the person. Like me personally, my job, I'm super active. I get a lot of steps in. I probably don't need cardio. Like I'm not a huge guy anyway, so like I could be wrong, but I don't see myself ever being like obese or anything. I'm just not a big person.
I went
Probably
to the
don't need
doctor one
cardio.
time, and he said I was a beast. Then I read the paperwork.
Hell yeah. I don't know what HD means, but I got 80 of them.
The O was silent.
I love how like the second delay that it took, and then Gove started dying.
The O is silent. That's what I thought.
Nah, but
It's not good.
I think cardio is based on the person. And going from that, if you are a person that needs cardio, I always think you should do it before. Like, in my opinion, muscles, your lungs, everything is like a rubber band. If you take a rubber band out of the freezer and you pull it, it's probably going to snap. If you put it in the microwave for a few minutes, it's going to be real stretchy. So go ahead, do some cardio, warm your muscles up, get the blood flowing, get things moving, and then go focus on your pump. And in my mind, whatever your goal is, whether it be running, lifting, maybe you want to be really good at yoga, you need to do that on the back half and focus on that and put your drive to that. Everything else should be more or less a warm-up before that. And so if a warm-up for somebody could be a 400-meter run, that could be a good warm-up, and all right, it's time to lift. Someone like me who's on the smaller side, like I could run a mile and still go lift some weights. Like it don't matter. So again,
someone who's on the bigger side of it too, I do my half mile, hit the off button, then I get to go have fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get that stupid stuff out the way. That warms you up for everything else. Now go focus on what you're actually doing. And then when you're done lifting, like back to the supplement thing, now it's time to eat. Now it's time to recover. You can focus on that. You don't want to use that cardio as your recovery, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I understand that as well. What you got there?
Cardio, it's like, I don't know. I had this I did the whole bodybuilding thing, not like actually, but like that's the way I trained for a while. So it was like all eating this, that, third cardio, whatever. And then I got into powerlifting and I kind of just did it. I was like, ooh, go gym, lift heavyweight. And then I really got into it.
Pick up big rock.
And I got a coach. I got a couple coaches for it, and I got like a whole nutrition coach, and then I got a whole weightlifting coach. The weightlifting coach that I had, one, he was like a big time like world champion, and the second one, he was actually the strength and conditioning coach for Virginia Tech. Nice. And he coached at not JMU, LSU. Coached at LSU, coached at Tech, and now me and him are really good friends. But to the nutrition coach, he's actually from Australia, and this dude was smart. And what he's told me about cardio is that he said like 30 minutes of like just steady state cardio is really just for cardiovascular. That's like good for your, and like back to what Mike said, it's like, you know, if your job is like taxing, you're moving a bunch, like that's probably enough cardio for your, as long as you're eating right, you're not obese or something like that.
To like, check the box. Yeah,
to check it off. I think though, as like to give it another like skew, as a power lifter, back to your original question, cardio per se, not active like recovery or something like that, cardio was always to be after, or it had its own day, because my purpose in the gym was like I needed all my energy focused in on this lift. I could not risk wasting that energy like pre-workout.
So was it also along the lines of mass moves mass?
No.
Okay. I've heard that a lot back in the day. It was like, oh, the bigger you are, the more you lift.
Correct.
It's mass moves mass.
That's actually more for strongman than powerlifting. Strongman, it's like anybody in this room could powerlift, but I'm not saying nobody, but not all of us can go in and compete strongman, because like in strongman, that's why like Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, like all those dudes, it was literally like I just needed to be as big as I humanly possibly like. I need to be huge.
And I think it was Eddie Hall when he broke the deadlift world record.
Yeah, he's massive.
He said, I took years off of my life to have this record. Like, I know what I did.
He's only like 6'3", and he got up to like 400.
He's that tall.
Only 6'3".
He might be 6'2", 6'3", but he's definitely there.
Hey, Tiffany, this is our Jamie. Can you fact check and see how tall Eddie Hall is, please?
How tall Eddie Hall is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'2", 6'3", and I'm pretty sure he was like 425 pounds.
But when you're standing next to a 6'8" Brian Shaw, I mean...
and at his biggest, he was 470. How much?
So he is 1 inch taller than me.
So you got some catching up.
An inch is a lot.
That's facts.
Some people might say 1 inch is too much.
Some might say it's the best inch. How much did he weigh?
Hey, Tiffany, like I said, I knew there was a reason Tiffany came along for this. And she's our Jamie here.
I was actually hoping there was somebody going to be, but in my head coming here, I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like. And I was like, dude, he's going to be having somebody who's spitting out images of.
Between 313 and 434, something like that.
Shit, Nick could bench in.
434?
At 6, okay, imagine you being 434 pounds.
No.
What was that? What was that last number?
Left knee gone.
3 what?
It
Sorry.
was 3 something, 320, 3
It
something.
don't matter. You got him.
Heavy.
No, not
No.
but
Oh yeah.
That's
only
at,
300.
but that was at his like smallest. And again,
That was his smallest. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
But
Which-
think about it. He's only 6'2", and when he's 300 and some pounds, he's got a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No. That's
He's a unit.
extremely impressive. But I just
He's my favorite
I-
strongman by far.
I just
Dude,
assumed
I-
it was higher than that.
Yeah, I
Just
will.
me, but-
I will disagree and say that Brian Shaw. No, so Eddie Hall for me is the most entertaining strongman.
Oh, 100%.
But the fun part is, like, I don't know if y'all have ever watched, like, they did a like History Channel, like the world's strongest men, and like it was
Oh,
four
yeah.
of them.
Robert O'Burst.
Robert O'Burst was on
I like
there.
him. I like Robert O'Burst. He's hilarious.
He's a dude.
He's hilarious.
But it was like 4 friends go pick up heavy stuff is what that show ended up being, which for me, just being average Joe, made it entertaining because they were doing pranks on each other. Like they were like, yeah, just pick this up, you know, it's about half the weight. They're like, put the full rack on. They're like, why is it so heavy for me and not for you? So like it was very, very entertaining.
Yeah. But going back to what Jonathan was saying a minute ago about when he was doing the powerlifting thing, I feel like that almost kind of added to my point. He was like, I have to do my powerlifting first because all of my energy has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do cardio after that, then clearly all your energy wasn't there. You
No,
didn't
yeah.
use all your energy.
Well, that's why I said like
But the-
cardio
I think-
or like active recovery, because like cardio you need to be like really pushing.
And two, we're not just talking about physical energy, it's mental energy.
Oh, 100%.
So if you put your mind to you're going to work on your bench today, then I can throw on a podcast, I can throw on YouTube and do cardio. That doesn't bother me none.
Nah.
Go at a very stiff, very, fast-paced walk.
Yeah.
And put on something on YouTube, and then I'll be like, oh, shoot, I just clicked off 45 minutes, and I just watched TV the whole time.
Yep.
I think though, like, and not saying that he's right. He's a pretty smart guy though, doctorate and all this stuff. But he
talking
told
about
me,
me?
yeah,
That's what I thought.
yep. He told me his name was Phil Gerard, is what his name was. No, not related.
Okay.
Not related.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure his Instagram handle's like Philly cheesesteak or something like that.
Oh, come on with it.
Yeah, dude's yoked.
He was
Yeah.
a doctor.
Dude,
Yes, and he's
I
like,
almost spit my drink out.
I'm not kidding, bro.
Is he taking on extra patients right now? Because
He
that's the
does.
doctor I need to talk to, Mr. Philly Cheesesteak.
Yeah, Big Kahuna himself.
Yeah, but he told me, I'm pretty sure, like, because I asked him about like cardio, he said when you're doing it, you need to be your like heart rate needs to be at 120 beats per minute consistently. Like that is like your cardio range. Because like sometimes people going out here and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna walk on the treadmill and that's what I'm gonna do. And I think it works out when you're trying to get your steps in and stuff like that. Oh, it's actually Big Philly Cheesesteak. Bingo.
Big.
Come out.
Yeah, Big Philly.
Chat, it's _ Big Philly Cheesesteak if anybody's wanting to chase him down. Dude's yoked.
Yeah, he's pretty yoked.
Certified unit.
Pretty yoked. No, you must.
Really been liking
anyways.
that word lately.
Unit?
Unit. So,
Talk to me.
all right. So,
Certified.
let me go back to my childhood here.
You were a unit?
No.
Oh,
But
you're a
I,
unit now.
No, but I was used as a unit of measurement. I was running around with a bunch
4
of
inches of ruler?
no. It was a bunch of guys that I grew up with, and like every time that we were doing something, somebody would always go, "Oh no, dude, that'll hold like 3 reins." Like if there was a tree across the creek and like we had to get from one side to the other, just being little kids like running around without the internet, not
That'll hold 3
not,
reins.
yeah, they were like, dude, no, trust me, that'll hold 3 reins. And then they would look up and be like, "Phew, that's like 4 reins tall." Like I was just the biggest guy of the group, so there's a metric system, there is a standard, issue system, and then there's a rein system.
The rain system.
Yeah, and I was used as a unit of measurement.
There's
for a
the
very-
inch, the metric, and then the range.
the rein. Yeah. So if you ever see something, you're like, "Oh, dude, no, that'll hold 2 reins."
You wait until
No,
I
like-
kill a deer next year.
Yeah, be like,
Bro, it's like 2.5 rains right now.
I just drug 3 rains out of the woods right now. Trust me, I am tired.
If I call you up and say, Rain, I just killed a bear, about 2 of you.
Yeah. It's
Oh no!
literally
Yeah.
full Wayne,
If
but-
you tell me that it's a 2 rain bear on the ground, I'll be
On the
like,
way.
"Son of a!" All right, I'm calling Nick. we're getting 4-wheelers, we're getting trucks to get that thing out of there. All right, so this is one of the questions I've been holding. I've been putting it back. I've had it in my pocket, and this is something I want from every one of you. I want an answer out of it. Does lifting weights make you more attractive to other men who lift weights?
1,000%.
I was fixing to say I had this happen with Tiffany's brother-in-law. Like I was lifting pretty heavy for a couple months. He's a gym rat as well, and we go to the bowling alley. This was before I was bowling really heavy, but we go to the bowling alley, and he was the first person to go, "Hey, bro, you been picking some heavy stuff up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have." He's like, "I just want to let you know you're looking good." And I was like, "Nobody
Appreciate that one.
Yeah, I was like, "I
Thanks,
appreciate
Chief.
it, dog." Yeah, but it was
Self-esteem just went
it-
up right from there.
It was one of those, like, nobody else had mentioned it outside of my family who knew I was doing it. And of course, I think they're doing it to kind of fluff you a little bit, but ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'll take it.
Exactly. But he
it
was the
and
first guy to be like,
Right here.
"Oh yeah." He's like,
Put it in the pocket.
He's like, "Hey, your dog, you been hitting the gym?" And I was like, I have a little bit. And he was like, "I can tell you looking good, dog." So,
Can we rephrase this?
can you move closer to the mic?
I can hear myself.
He's
I'm glad you can.
He's had one
chilling.
high
6
noon.
foot
He's
from
just done. Just
Chilling.
sitting
Yeah.
See
back.
how Nick's the biggest bully ever.
Nick.
The guy who hasn't said but 5 words on the podcast.
I say, what do we
Biggest
Nick
bully
had a
ever.
point on that one?
Anyways,
The biggest bully. I'll take that.
you are.
Hey, you're still the biggest,
Hey,
though.
put it on a t-shirt.
Anyways, I don't find any male more attractive for working out, but I definitely think that dudes notice way faster. Mainly because most dudes are trying to catch up to that. Like, they see somebody like, oh, he's got gnarly bicep veins. I would see Mike's bicep veins, and I'd be like, damn, I need to become more vascular. I'd see Nick have, I don't know, big shoulder pump, and I'd be like, man, I need bigger shoulders. I'm sorry. I think y'all are beautiful as you are.
You see Rain at the buffet and you're like, "I need to step my game up here."
No, I'm a
2
still
plates.
I'm a still firm believer.
He's putting 2 plates on
You-
every time.
2 plates on his butt.
You've got me sold on the handlebars and in the mullet.
And the mullet,
You've got me. That's the first time I met you, and I was like, anytime I see you, I'm like expecting to see that.
Right.
And it slightly upsets me that I
R.I.P.
don't see that anymore. I'm like,
Hang on. Keep
point.
talking, but I have something here.
I would prefer to see.
I'm working on it.
Oh, you're growing it back out.
No, even better. This is something I have laughed at for years and will continue to.
Are you just gonna go with like the reverse mullet? Shave everything else.
Leave the top.
See, dude, that right
I
there.
have the handlebar mustache and the mullet on my ID.
That's what I'm saying.
That jewel is stuck till 2029. Like it will forever be living in my pocket. So,
If you could please grow that back, but then the tips of your handlebars just blonde.
oh yeah,
Boom, boom.
little Hulk Hogan action.
Yeah, except he had blonde and then it was brown, right?
No, it was all blonde.
It was all blonde.
yeah.
But I'm saying brown, blonde tips.
Blonde tips.
Little dip.
Just little blonde tips.
But hold on, I got a question real quick.
Come on with it.
What about that? Was I a bully? What did I do?
Nick,
Still stuck
I just
on
caught
it.
a stray real quick.
Nick, I call you a
No
bully
lie.
virtually every day.
Wait, that's a good point.
don't
Maybe
think
it's a
that's true.
self-esteem issue,
Wait,
dude. I don't fucking know.
Could be that.
It seems like Nick getting the problem, though.
Maybe.
What have I done in the last half hour that said, "Oh, Nick's the I've been pumping you up this whole time, saying y'all got me back into lifting. I was in a dark space, and feeling vulnerable. Nick's a fucking bully.
Nick sucks.
I will say this though, that is the teetotal dude friendship.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hey, I really appreciate y'all being here for me. Helping me out, and they're like, "Dude, you suck." Like,
Dude, you're freaking weenie.
guys,
We're literally dragging your
we're not calling you the next time we do this. I just want to let you know to your face.
You didn't know my name before I walked in here.
First of all,
Still don't.
this is
Don't care.
Yeah, this
Still
is,
up for debate.
Yeah, this is a really good joke. I called Jonathan Gove by Jonathan Gove. I
thought it was like a V.
No, there was a B.
Where did the B come from?
I have no clue because I thought everybody called you Gobe. And I was like, okay, I know Gobes. Like, I've heard that last name before. And I was like, oh, it's his. Like, whatever, cool. And I don't know what happened. I might have seen your Facebook. And I was like,
That's on me. That's on me.
no,
Right here.
100%. Yeah, I'm
Self-accountability
Yeah,
right
I'm
there.
not,
Do you still call me Gove or Jonathan?
I have always called you Gove. I think I maybe called you Jonathan. I could probably count on my
Mike
hands
calls
how
me
many times
Jonathan
I've
now, and
called you Jonathan.
it disturbs me to this day.
You want me to call you Gove?
I don't care what you say, but dude, I'm not kidding
Yeah.
you. When Mike says Jonathan, I'm like, am I in trouble?
something serious. my mom is after me right now.
Because he goes, we'll be going down the road or something, and I'll say something, and he'll go, Jonathan, and I'm like, shit, here we go.
turn his twinkle on. What now?
What?
No, see, because like, I guess when you like, side note, I moved away for a couple years and came back. But like when I came back, I feel like everybody called you Jonathan, and when I called you Gove, it was very like childish. I was like, oh, maybe he wants to be called Jonathan. I don't freaking know. So
When I started working at Complete, everybody called me Jay.
that
changed me.
That threw me for a loop.
Well,
Yeah, I
because
can't do that.
never,
I can't do that.
Hunter Nelson, he started
yeah.
calling me Jay. Nobody else called me. But
Shout out.
Liv, Caitlin actually still called me Gove, and then she said, I have to stop calling you Gove because everybody calls you Gove.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
that's
I'm
white. That's different. That's,
I'm pretty
that's,
sure you're the only person that calls me Jonathan.
I'll call you Gove then.
You call me.
I don't think that's true. I think
So,
Liv calls you Jonathan.
I feel like
Can-
everybody calls you
that.
Jonathan.
See, that threw me
dude.
off for the loop too.
Can I drop the hammer here?
Do it.
So,
You still think it's Gove?
no. No. Rain is actually not my name.
AKA Drizzle.
And that is not my name as well. So that is my middle name.
Can I ask one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you spell Rain, how do you spell that?
I spell it with an E.
Dude, mess
So
me
you
up.
didn't know how to spell my name. I didn't know how to say your name or even.
You added a whole nother letter to mine that doesn't even sound.
You left off a letter.
I'm about to
We're
say,
even.
literally, how did you think it was spelled?
I didn't know how it was spelled, so in my phone it's Rain Man, RAIN.
that's
tough.
kinda
Man.
When we
That's
trade
tough.
when we
You know
trade
what I
phone
mean?
numbers
So-
today, that's what it's going in at.
And actually,
it's going to be
your
spelled
phone-
RAI, and I ain't gonna lie
I think
to you.
I think I've already said this, but your number in my phone was what's his name? Not Colton. Is it Colton? What's his name? I
don't know.
Son. Talk to me. Use your
words,
What is his
dude.
name?
This is great podcasting right here.
What is his name?
Cut
He
this out.
hunted with us day one.
Caleb.
Bingo.
Boom.
Your number.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember this.
Did I tell you that?
So no,
Shout out, Caleb.
I don't know, but for a little precessor here, we got together for opening day of bow season, and I don't know, was it Mike that started the group chat? Somebody in the group put everybody's phone numbers, and we didn't have, individually
Just bare numbers.
One person had all the phone numbers with names. So
And all the power.
we
Hey, Nick.
Thanos right here. Put the glove
Thanos
on.
glove on. That's probably me.
There was a group chat, which yet again I highly recommend if you're hunting in a group. It is some of the most fun you will ever have.
With 5 people on 20 acres.
Wow, talk about squirrels.
No, not just that. There's a point of I'm like, all right, I'm gonna crack jokes until I can get somebody to laugh, and I want to physically hear them laugh from the stand, so I know they're pushing deer in my direction.
Yeah.
So this whole thing got started. It gets sent out. I have 3 of the 5 numbers saved, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then
50 shot.
yeah, I know. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I've literally met Caleb
Yeah.
at the truck that morning.
Yes.
And was like, hey,
That's
dude.
when I met him.
Yeah, I was like, nice to meet you. You want a cup of coffee? Like, I got a thermos ready. Like, we're going to make this happen here.
Little backstory, not to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But Caleb is the nicest,
Super.
quietest guy you'll
Awesome
ever
dude.
meet. He
Is
does
that-
not. He's not outspoken. He won't say anything. He will not give his opinion until we're away from the crowd. And he's like, "Hey, man, I don't think that's the best move. I think we should do this." And he just won't. He's just super nice, super quiet. Doesn't want to intrude on anybody.
Is that the dude we went dove hunting with?
Yeah, Caleb. And then his buddy with the long hair, that's
Okay.
Chase. So Caleb's the one with the short hair.
So we
They're
get
funny.
We
Yeah,
get
dude, great guys.
we get started, and this whole group chat's going off, and Mike runs into a bear. This was actually this conversation was recorded earlier,
that-
but we'll
that
revisit.
morning?
Yes, it was.
Yes, that was that morning. What happened
Because
that morning?
Mike.
Is it that one?
No.
No, different bear. So a lot of things happened during this, and Mike runs into a bear, and he's like, "Hey, he is under my stand. I'm not going up there." So the group chat kind of talks a little bit, and then it fizzles out. Then I have a raccoon like 3 yards away from my stand. I take a picture of it, send it to the group chat, and then that sparked everything in daylight.
Yep.
Caleb sends a picture of a deer that he's already shot. It's already on the ground. I send a little subtle message of folded up like a 4th grade love letter.
I was cracking up.
There's a brief moment where I heard the whole woods go silent. And I swear I heard a... It could have been 80 yards away. I don't know, but I know I heard it.
That's the story. That's what made me laugh, because when you sent that, I literally said, "That sounds like rain." But then I put it in as Caleb because it was his the one who sent the picture.
Yeah.
So I thought it came from the same person, because when you're in a group chat without without numbers, I wasn't really paying attention. And so I put the picture of the deer of Caleb. And I was like, man, that sounds like something Rain would say. And then for a long time, I don't know what I did, but I was like, whose number is this? Mike was like, that's Rain. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. Because Rain's in here as Caleb, and Caleb's in here as Rain. And again, I didn't know how to spell Rain, so the other guy was Rain Man.
Just had 2 different rates going off.
That's what I'm saying. I had no idea. What you weren't there? Oh, you didn't get into the yet.
Yeah, I wasn't. And I don't know if you want to go into it, but this is like my first year of hunting, like, period. So
you did really well, by the way.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Killing the game for the first year.
Literally killing everything you see.
Literally.
I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and wrap this one up, boys? And we can put a pause on that and catch it here a little bit later. How do y'all think that sounds?
As long as it's not during turkey season.
Gobble, gobble.
King of Spring.
Alrighty, so we're going to sign this one out yet again. Thank you, Mike, for coming back on. I guess I didn't run you off enough. Nick, this is his first podcast. I think you killed it. Great job out there, brother.
The bully.
And the bully. Get them dogs out.
Some people.
Jonathan, I'm glad I learned how to pronounce your last name today.
How do you spell your name? And what's your real name?
Exactly.
Yeah, what is your real name?
What is your first name? Hanging.
I did. So my first name is Kyle.
What?
Hence,
Like the drywall guy?
Yes, hence why you've never seen me with a monster and you've never had holes in your drywall.
Kyle Schmidt.
Kyle Schmidt.
Where did
Kyle
Rain come
Schmidt.
from?
Huh?
It's his middle name.
Oh,
That's what he said.
So, yes.
Oh, wait, it is your middle
But
name, right?
It is my middle name. So Kyle is my dad's middle name.
Okay.
That's his name was Martin Kyle Schmidt. Okay. So they decided to pull my dad's middle name from my first name, which is kind of like a historic, tradition.
Family name. Family name.
So, yet again, Kyle being a family name, sorry. Rain came...
You didn't know this either?
No, I did not know this.
He said he just dropped it on all of us.
Yeah, I did not know
That's
this.
crazy.
Figured out.
He's raining on top of us right now.
Yeah, just a little drizzle. It ain't even a full rain
A little
yet.
drizzle.
Yeah, so the
Ended with a cold one right there.
So-
That's a line.
Cold in here.
so no, it gets better. Trust me. I asked my mom, got old enough to be like, all right, cool. So my dad's name's Kyle, or middle name's Kyle. That's how I got that. All right, where'd you come with Rain from? She said, I'll tell you when you get older. I was like, okay. So now teenager, I was like, hey, where did you come up with Rain? She said, I was reading a romance novel. And there was a guy named Rain Montgomery. And first of all, I thought of...
name.
That's a country
Talk
singer,
to
dog.
you need a guy to go pull a truck out of a ditch by himself. Like, just shows up. Rain Montgomery is that dude to do it for you.
From Montgomery County.
Hey, oh, yeah. No, he's from Pitt. He don't like those guys. No, he's a Pitt County boy. But, so that's how I got my middle name. Is from a romance novel.
I don't want to know what was happening in that romance.
I really don't either.
I wouldn't even ask the name of it.
I don't know.
Like you're saying you were made during the romance novel?
don't
or
know.
you were reading it?
I don't know.
You don't ask
Kyle
that.
I don't do.
You don't ask questions you don't want to answer.
There is some stuff that you just need to leave to the imagination.
Talk
I don't know if I want to leave that one to imagination.
I got it. Okay, cool. Off of book. Got it.
Sounds good.
Mike said, "Sign it. It's done."
Yeah.
we can end it.
All right, we're gonna end it.
We can start up another one.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can start it right now.
I was fixing to say thank you again for listening in. For the tens of people who will listen to this podcast, I really appreciate it.
No, man, I'm gonna share it, and I'll get
There's-
at least one.
There's 5 people in the room. Thank you for the tens of people that will listen to this.
Guaranteed
Had a
mom
great
will listen to
time.
this.
Mike, appreciate it. Nick, appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all
Jonathan,
coming out.
really appreciate it. No, thank you for hosting us.
Oh, yeah.
And we will definitely have to do this again.
100%.
So on the flippy flop, we will catch y'all later. Thank you again.